about in the past. I was double vaccinated. Had received the Pfizer vaccine in March. I had not been boosted. I was scheduled to get boosted, but I had an endoscopy scheduled the next day, and that got pushed back. And then all of a sudden, I captured COVID. And as a result of that, everything went downhill from there. And it was a real rough ride, but I've been incredibly blessed to survive it. And I'm here talking to you now.
So let's talk about this. Steve, before I would get into the details, listen, this is what I admire about you. No matter what it is, or controversy, or whatever it is that you go through, that you talk about it and you turn whatever, even if it's a challenge, into either knowledge for other people or some sort of positive. Or thank you for doing that. So you tested positive, I understand, in mid-December. That was mid-December, and then you said New Year's you spent in the hospital. I mean, that's a while. So what? I mean, how long was it? Because usually it's like 10 days.
No, it was at least 3 weeks for me. I mean, I was informed. I thought I had contracted it. The symptoms were there on the 16th. The 17th it had gotten worse, and then by that afternoon I was alerted that I had contracted COVID. And from that standpoint, I was still feeling under the weather for a few days, but I had went on ESPN that next Tuesday just to inform the viewers that I wouldn't be back for a little while because I had contracted COVID and I was expecting to feel a little bit worse before I felt better. And then I even went on air on Christmas Day because I'm a part of NBA Countdown, and that was a very, very important day for the company. But that particular morning Christmas morning was when it really, really kicked into another level. I had the fever, I had the coughs, I had the massive headaches, but it went to another level that particular day. And from that standpoint, over the next week and a half or so, it was pure hell. And then on New Year's Eve, I had already went to the hospital once, and then I went and checked myself into the hospital for 2 days where they monitor you and what have you, and make sure that you're hydrated. They check your blood levels and make sure that you're okay, at least to some degree. But they made sure to explain that you were just going to have to endure and have to go through it. This was the process of COVID. Come New Year's Eve, I knew it was significantly worse than that because I was really laboring with my breathing. The cough had gotten excessively worse. I'd already been told that I had pneumonia in both lungs. And the doctor in the emergency room came up to me and they brought me back into the back room, and they said, in all likelihood, had you not been vaccinated, based on what we're seeing with your liver and your lungs, you may have been gone. And so from that perspective, from that moment, they put me on antibiotics, put me on steroids. I had also already gotten the monoclonal antibodies as well, because you hear about that and how effective that could potentially be. But that's only with the Delta variant, not necessarily with the Omicron variant. And so all of those things were things that I was learning, and I just had to get through it. And fortunate through the grace of God, and obviously those wonderful doctors who helped me, I got through it.
And look, and you're right, because our healthcare workers, I mean, and they're under a lot right now. They've dealt with a lot. So you're right to point them out and give them their flowers in this moment. Let me go through this though, because you said that you're double vaxxed, but you were waiting to be boosted because you had to have a medical procedure. So you're not anti-boost or anti any of that. Are you encouraging others to get boosted now?
Well, I would obviously encourage people to do so. I definitely understand to some degree. Let me be very, very clear. In my perfect world, I think that everybody should be vaccinated. I think that everybody should be boosted. And I don't say that for me. I say that because the medical professionals have told me that.
Right.
This is one of the things that they emphasize. I'm not a doctor. I'm not pretending to be. I'm not an expert. I'm not pretending to be. I'm a regular citizen that goes to the doctor when I have a medical issue, and I listen to what the doctor advises, and I try to follow the instructions in order to get better. Nobody's perfect, but we certainly listen to our medical professionals. And I have not encountered one single medical professional that has advised to be against being vaccinated and being boosted. And so from that perspective, considering the platform that I have, when you ask me a question directly about that, would I encourage that? Absolutely. There are many people who say, excuse me, I've taken the vaccine and it didn't work, or I've taken the vaccine and it's made me worse. I don't get into any of that. What I emphasize and what my experience has taught me more than anything, we know that COVID-19 is real. We know that the coronavirus is real. Billions of people have been vaccinated. Hundreds of thousands of people have died in this country. Millions have died worldwide. So we know it's real. And since we know it's real, at the very least, we could wear a mask, because like I said, the person next to you may suffer significantly more than you did. And you don't know that. So why not be thoughtful enough to be protective of the next man and woman next to you? That's my whole thinking.
And let me just say this, Stephen, you know how this works. I have to get to the break here, but because you're on television, you understand. Stephen A. is a healthy individual. You talk about your sister, right, who smokes, had COVID 3 or 4 days over it. People are under the assumption that just because I'm healthy and I can get through this, healthy people still get sick and still can face dire consequences from COVID-19. Give me a quick one on that if you can, Stephen.
Well, it's factual. I'm living proof of that because it attacked my lungs. I'm not an Adonis. I'm not in great shape, but I wasn't in bad shape. I'm 54 years old. I'm in pretty good shape. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I never have. And it attacked my lungs. I had pneumonia in both lungs. You can't predict what it's going to do to a particular individual. You just don't know, which is why I would emphasize wearing your mask.
Stephen, thank you for doing what you do. We're happy that you're okay. I'm glad that you're okay. Be safe out there. Keep doing it, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you so. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Our coverage continues.